Today we're in St Andrew's Parish Church, Eccles, and I'm joined by Mr Alan Cooper. Now, Alan has been long associated with the church, and he's a very shy, modest man. He's a keen student. I've just found out he was the ex-mayor of Eccles, and he was also the headmaster at St Andrew's School, deputy headmaster, and I think he's the ideal man to talk to us and guide us about the church. And will you show us some of the...
I will indeed. Great pleasure.
Where shall we start?
Well, shall we start here, looking towards the altar?
We shall. We're now underneath what would be the east windows, designed by the eminent Victorian glassmaker, Charles Kemp. Could you explain more about these, Alan?
Yes, certainly. Well, the east windows are the great treasure of the church, really. And you'll find various names of worthies of Eccles. And in 1879, when this church was built, the treasurer was a member of a very famous family in Manchester history, the Boddingtons. I always felt it my duty, going into a pub, to drink Boddington's bitter in those far-off days. But he was representatives of those who worked for the church in the town of Eccles, and they're commemorated in these marvellous windows. They're some of the best in Lancashire, and really a great treasure. And many people, when they come to see the church, the first thing they want to find is Kemp's windows. And here they are. And you get the story of Christ from the birth. On the left, you'll see him. Then right in the centre, the crucifixion and resurrection. But if you look high up of these windows, you find various coats of arms. And the one on the left, top left, you will always see that in Manchester, that those diagonal strips within the Manchester Diocese coat of arms. But it's these intriguing little interest points you can find here and there.
Alan, behind us we've got the church organ. Now
Yes,
this has got a special role in the church history, hasn't it?
Indeed. Well, it was built 1893, thanks Tony, and again for a parish church, a marvellous instrument. Then after the Second World War, there was a debate, how shall we commemorate those who died? And I was particularly interested in this. I was away in the army, but my brother was a choir boy, sat in these seats, and he was drowned in the Battle of the Atlantic in the war. And so it was decided that as a memorial, the organ would be refurbished and enhanced as a memorial. Again, you've got to search a little for these little gems. But well, there it is.
That leads us nicely on to the fact that we've got a window dedicated to a gentleman from the parish who fell in the First War.
Yes.
Shall we go and have a look at that?
Indeed. Well, this war memorial window is unique in that it shows graphically, illustrates the person who is commemorated, Arthur Clayton, who was a choir boy in this church, then went off to war, served in the Rifle Brigade, and was killed at the Battle of Lewes. 23 when he died, and his parents paid for this. What I always find poignant, really, very poignant. On the field of battle he was killed, and then allegorically he hands his sword and receives the crown of glory. What could be better? On the left are the names of the men from the parish who died in the First World War. Now, the window we've just looked at was a memorial to one man put in by the family. And then the church commissioned this window to commemorate the men of the congregation and the parish who were killed in that war. So this is the parish memorial window on either side of the war memorial plaque. And tracing these names, you find a lot of the small streets in the Irwell ward where I was once a councillor. And there they were, boys and men who were born in that area, came to this church, many of them, and then died, and quite likely commemorated here in this place.
The corbel that we've just looked at, the Angel Corbel,
Yes.
it depicts a particularly poignant tragedy, doesn't it? And of a not so long ago-ish.
Indeed.
Could you tell our readers, viewers, what it
Yes.
depicts?
Well, this goes back to 1883 into a theatre in Sunderland with hundreds and hundreds of children there. Then disaster struck, and due to the difficulties in the theatre, and many children were killed, suffocated, and so on. A real tragedy in great proportions. And so in the course of time, the Sunday school children decided on a memorial. And here it is, of a child being nursed. And in the hands of the child, there's a Noah's Ark, a toy, to remember those days of the tragedy in Sunderland, linking by emotion, by feeling, those children who died, and the children here who caused this memorial to be built.
We're going to finish the tour now with Alan, but finally we're going to look at the North windows. Is it Shrigley and Evans? Is it?
Yes.
They're the glassmakers. Could you tell us about the windows?
Yes. Now these windows in the west window here are commemorating 8 saints. Among them you'll find St. Martin, inevitably St. George, St. Ostwald, and you also find one of the Emperor Constantine. But these are the warrior windows to commemorate, I say, those particular saints.
It's been a pleasure. I really enjoyed myself.
Oh, that's my
And this man is a gentleman, and respect to this man.
My pleasure indeed. Great pleasure indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.